welcome you in collaboration with the Congress of Black Women of Canada, the Edmonton chapter, to the Africa Center Space, and I'm so excited. It is the first event to have in this space, and I'm so excited that it is happening in this partnership with such a dedicated Black women to improve the lives of Canadians all, particularly the Black Canadians in Edmonton. Our mission is improving or creating a thriving Black communities in Edmonton, in this province in general, but we are located in 36 here in Edmonton, and we do our work in partnerships with organizations like the Congress, who also have a shared mission with us in advancing the well-being of Black communities in Alberta. So I don't want to take much of your time. Mine was just to say I'm so happy and welcome you to our space, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the function today. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, good morning, everyone. It is an absolute pleasure to be here with you today to celebrate here at the Africa Center. It's my first time seeing the new space, and I can't tell you how wonderful it is to see. The openness, the color, a place for the community here. You know, as has been said, we are meeting today on the traditional territory of Treaty 6. And as we celebrate Family Day, it's important to remember this is land on which the Indigenous people of this land have raised their families for generations. And as we also celebrate Black History Month, it's worth remembering that the earliest Black settlers were traders who came here and worked closely with Indigenous people. Indeed, the earliest Black settlers who came here, men who married into Indigenous communities and worked as translators and go-betweens between Indigenous communities and the trading companies. The history of Black communities is built on family. Indeed, when we look back at what Black communities have been through, the challenges they've faced, those who look to keep Black communities down, who look to enslave them, to disempower them, look to break up families, to keep families apart, to keep fathers away from their children, separate mothers from their children, even to break up marriages and keep them apart. Because family is power. Here in the province of Alberta, Black history goes back to, I said, those early traders who came here and indeed married and built families here, followed by others like John Ware, who came here as a rancher, built his family here in Alberta. We had the exodusters who came in the early 1900s. Folks who came up from the southern United States looking for better opportunities for themselves and their children, looking to build their families here, free from discrimination. And they built communities together. Communities like Amber Valley, communities like Junkins, Keystone, where they came together and they set up things to support their families. They founded churches, they founded schools. We had the Amber Valley Picnic every year, where folks would come from across Alberta to celebrate together. Because family is key to community, family is key to building strength. But they did face challenges and discrimination. We know that those challenges were there. There were forces that made it difficult for Black families to thrive here in the province of Alberta. Fathers forced to take jobs as sleeping car porters, which meant they spent long periods away from home. Mothers who had to work as domestics, so they were spending more time looking after other people's families than they had opportunity with their own. But again, Black families, communities came together to stand up and fight for that. The Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters, who fought for better labor rights so that they could spend more time with their families, so that they could have more income to bring home to their families. And not just for themselves, they worked with folks like the Calgary Labor Council to get better labor rights for all families here in the province of Alberta. That is a history of our communities here. And that has gone on for generations as successive black immigrants have come from different places, whether it's been from the southern United States, whether from countries in the Caribbean, like my father who came here from Trinidad in 1967, whether African communities, many people from the different, diverse, rich countries of Africa that have come here in the years past. It has been about family. And the history of so many organizations, some of which we're going to hear from today, the National Black Coalition of Canada, Jamaican Association of Northern Alberta, so many different African community associations, the Africa Center itself. These have been founded about supporting families here to thrive and to grow, and all of us together as community. Because family goes beyond just our blood relatives. Maya Angelou said, family isn't always blood, it's the people in your life who want you in theirs, the ones who accept you for who you are, the ones who would do anything to see you smile, and who love you no matter what. And that is what organizations like the Africa Center work to help provide. As we have families come here from around the world and need support in a new place where they don't know anyone. It provides that strength. And that is a strength then for us as a city, that is a strength for us as a province. So for us as elected officials, our job is to make sure that the systems and supports that you need, whether that's healthcare, education, social supports, all of those things are there to support you and your family. And in Black History Month, we need to remember that there are unique challenges that Black communities face and that we as elected officials need to address. You have my commitment, and I know you have the commitment of Councilors Tang and Wright, and so many others, that we are all going to do that work at whatever level of government we find.
So I am honored to be here with my family, Zach and Summer, today on Family Day to celebrate with you Black History Month, but also Black excellence, and to help recognize the diverse heritage and culture here in Edmonton. Of course, we're gathered here on Treaty 6 territory. It's a land where Indigenous people have made their home for centuries, but it has also become home for people all around the world. And since the 1800s, Black Canadians have been here building community and contributing to the region's prosperity. And in that time, women leaders in the Edmonton's Black community have stepped up to shape our history. Women like Lulu Anderson, one of the key civil rights advocates in Alberta, who stood up for her right to be admitted to the Metropolitan Theatre, to watch a show. Women like today's, we have Rochelle Ignacio, who helped to found the Black-owned market. And more recently, Feed the Soul Dining Week, which helped to support local Black-owned businesses and amplify the Black culinary scene here in Edmonton. I got to enjoy a part of that. I hope many of you did as well. Like Edmonton's very own award-winning gifted poet laureate, Titi Lopez-Sanuga, who lifts her voice to make sure everyone feels at home and welcomed here in Edmonton. And like so many others in the room today. And we can talk about Black excellence, Black voices, Black activism, but we cannot forget too that sometimes our communities are not always safe for everyone. That we know that Black Indigenous communities continue to be disproportionately affected by racism in our society today. And so the ongoing work of the city council to fight racism would not be possible without the support, like organizations like the Congress of Black Women of Canada, but also of Africa Center, who's hosting us today. And so this month, the city will be listening to the diverse experiences and voices of the community through various engagement sessions around the Anti-Black Racism Action Plan. The latest session was actually 2 days ago at City Hall. If you weren't able to make that, there is also the online survey, there's emails and phone calls throughout until March 15th. Or you can talk to a city councilor. So I encourage you and your families to participate and help shape the action plan. And on top of that, I'll add that this month we've also were able to approve over $1 million in grants for anti-racism and public safety programs This is a program that I like to see that will be more participatory, more collaborative, more ways for an institution like the city government to share power with the community, so that we can strengthen solidarity among and between intercultural communities. So once again, thank you so much for the organizers, for the community to help shed more light on the Black history and her story here in Edmonton. I wish